So anytime you have any doubt, question, anything, you can just ask me. You can interrupt me. There's no issue about it. So this ZTNA wave of ZTNA which is coming, right, which is this Tailscale or twin gate or zero tier and all that, this is a revolution. I see it as a revolution because it has everything enterprise grade features that you require, and it is like damn easy. How much easy? What's the gap? Let's say I'll say the gap is as good as, if we talk about the traditional VPNs, gap is as good as going to ATM and doing a UPI transaction. Okay, which is huge. Remember, what was the last time that you went to the ATM center? Right? So it's as simple as that and as complicated as that, you can say that. So the tool that I'm going to cover today is Tailscale. Okay. And we'll start it now. So I'll give you a idea about some of the features of it. So admin console, where is it gone? It's already there. So let's say I have a couple of machines here. You can see that. Okay. And you see they are all on the different subnet. You see that? They are all on the different subnet. So right now, the machine that I'm sitting at this at my office, my Lenovo machine. This is my machine. Okay. If you guys have any problem in seeing the screen or anything else, you let me know that time itself so that I can adjust things. Okay. So I have 5 machines right now. One is in Frankfurt. The other is in US, Denver. The same machine that I'm sitting at right now is in Denver. The machine that you're seeing right now is a RDP machine. I'm not using my local machine. I'm using a RDP on this US machine. Now, if you see the location itself, I think it will be there somewhere. It should be telling us that this machine is somewhere. I'll just click on it rather. So how do you make out where is the machine? The machine is, here is Denver. Seattle is this much. There's a lot of latency. You see that? It's a crazy amount of latency. I was not expecting, but from India right now, if I can access this machine so well, so that's pretty good stuff. Okay. So I have a machine, which is a Linux machine. It's a Linux machine. You see that here. It's in Frankfurt, Germany. This is the machine that we are using for booking the racks and everything else, because all our pods are right now set in Paris, right? We have seen last couple of last 45 days, me and my team, we tried building racks in Bangalore. There were internet issues, there were electricity issues, there were management issues, right? And we did not have the capacity of, having those kind of racks. So we basically end up having them in the Europe region because of the stability. Okay. So these are a couple of machines that you see here. Okay. So this is, I will explain you each and everything from starting from here to all these features and what do they do, etc. And you will see that how easy this whole thing has become. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is first I'll pick up this Lenovo Vikas Sir office machine and we will see where is this machine. This machine is, because the latency is only 4 milliseconds. Right. So this machine is in here. And from here, the latency of all the places is Paris is around 163 milliseconds. And these are the different cities of the world. You can see the latency up to there, and the US will be more and more. If you see US, right? Because the distance is almost double of Europe. From here, you take 8 hours flight to Paris. From Paris, you take another 8-hour flight or 10-hour flight to US. Right? So Europe is halfway of the world. Same, you see the latency also similarly. Right? Here you can see all the IPs that I have from my network local here to all the different type of networks which are basically there. Okay. This is our public IP. And the port it is using on public IP is this. Right? So this portion is where you have all the machines. These machines could be Mac, Linux, server, anything that you have as a physical thing is going to be here under machines. Okay. Your routers, your firewall, we are going to configure one firewall and we will see that firewall itself, that the firewall is visible here or not. Okay. In fact, if I just want to add one of the firewall, I don't know which firewall I will get a hold of. I'll just say 172.16.60.254. Or 192.168.1.254. I think most of these firewalls are not configured right now for this. So I'll have to go to their location, then configure firewall, then I can access those. And 192.168.60.254. Let me see what machine address it is. ipconfig. So I will use mine. 10.1.60.254. Okay, this firewall has never been set up. It's the first time I'm setting it. So that's the reason. You see that this is showing weird signs that you have to configure it. So we'll configure it from day one. That's a good stuff that we could see that. Okay. WAN interface, all these things is okay. I am not touching anything. I'm not touching anything. I'll set up some password for admin, and that's all. Now what I'll do is I need to add this firewall to my network right now. You see that? Do I have any firewall here? There is no firewall, right? I want to have a remote access and a peer-to-peer to the firewall. And you will see that generally, traditionally, on the traditional VPNs, how complicated it is to have a site-to-site or remote access also configured on a firewall. But here, because it's API based, you will find it very easy. So we'll go to settings. We'll go to keys. We'll go to generate an API key. I will give it pfSense FW1 because it is the first firewall in Denver. I have more public IPs. I'm going to use, it should be, no, I don't want it to be reusable. And I'll say generate the key. Okay, I can do this. That's all. I'll go to my firewall. This is done. Finish. And how will I bring this firewall on this thing? I'll have to bring it. There is no option for pfSense, right? Sorry, Tailscale. So what I'll do is, so I'll show you all the features one by one without explaining much of the theory. So first step that we are doing right now is how do you bring a firewall on the network? And then you can access all the subnets behind it based on what you advertised. And then we will see how to apply ACL to block that also. But I need to install Tailscale first. Available packages. These are the packages available. I have proxy, radius, reverse proxy, right? Load balancers, squid, all kind of stuff. I don't need much of it. I'm focused on Tailscale. Tailscale is there. I'll install it. We'll wait for a couple of seconds. And it says it's done. That's all. This is what it is, right? Successfully completed. Now we go to VPN, we see the option. Okay, enable it. Advertised routes, no, not right now. We have to go to authentication and give my pre-shared keys here. save it, enable it, save it. Except the other is offer to the exit node. No, I don't want any of those things. Advertise route. I have to advertise my private route. So what is my private route here? 10.1.60.0/24. I'm advertising this. Okay, cool. What is it? Tailscale is not running. Okay. Is online. Okay. It takes time. Authentication is done. So save it. Tailscale is online. Now we'll go here and we will see in our machines if it is there or not. You see that? pfSense firewall is there now. Needs an approval for advertising of these routes. I am the admin. I will say, okay, I accept these routes from this particular firewall. And that's all, guys. All these machines sitting anywhere in the world now have access to the pfSense subnets of anything behind the firewall. We have just onboarded a full network by paying for one VPN client. Imagine that, how powerful is that? Right? Approve. Okay. So this has become, and you see that it's advertising the subnets. Rest of the are machines. They are not advertising subnets. Because a firewall is always a router. It has the capability to advertise certain subnets. It is advertising its subnets. And these routes are now available even from my local machine in India. If I try to access it, it is available. But then it is available to everybody. Right? It's available to the Paris also. It is available to my home laptop also. It is available to my office laptop also. It is available to the machine that I'm sitting right now in the US. This RDB machine, it is available to all this. So the next step is, how do we stop access of this particular thing to few people using this option? So we have access control, right? So once you set up the firewall, what do? You set up access control. Right now, you see that? What is it? Everybody is able to access it. Let's go there. And I'm going to say, all users and devices. Okay. I'll have to deny this. All ports. Advanced options, device posture. So this is what you have seen traditionally into your Cisco ICE, Duo, right? And all these companies also, that what kind of posture are you looking for? And let's see, I think this is posture is more of here. Okay, but I have to add it from the other place. So add additional capabilities. Not from this. This is pure ACL stuff. So I want to create and added this rule. Right now, what is the permission level? All users and devices can access all ports and protocols right now. Everybody is permitted, can access destinations and this. Okay, sorry. I have to delete it. By default, nobody can access anybody right now because there is no rule as such. So if all the machines want to access these subnets, all these machines here, right, they cannot access any of the devices behind it. Imagine how powerful feature we are talking about, that in one API key, I was able to onboard a firewall on a remote access network. The more powerful thing is, if I have another firewall, I can bring it as a site to site. Right? I can bring that as a site to site firewall. And that will be very powerful. Just get one more firewall, advertise his subnet, what will happen? Right? What will happen? Both the firewall subnets will be advertised in the network. So imagine you have one firewall in Paris and another firewall here, somewhere in US or wherever it is, right? Traditionally, what used to happen is, used to configure site-to-site VPN. What if I just configure one API and the controller is sitting here? What is the controller? This is the controller, cloud-based controller. This is where I control everything. I'm controlling access from here. Who can access what? Right? We are going to see all these features also, like device posture. We did not add the device posture, so it was not showing there, right? Posture assertion, what operating system it is patched or not, it is updated or not, what is the version, etc., and all those things. We'll take it one by one. So right now, machines. Okay. So these two firewalls here, you see that using controller, I just configured API key, which authenticates this firewall, brings it on network. Then I configured the API key here, which actually authenticates this and brings it to the network. And both firewalls, private subnets, and private subnets are in the hands of whom? Are in the hands of firewall. If I want to advertise one more subnet, it is available to me. I'll just say 10.1.17.0. If I have more private subnets, I'll just advertise this also. Right? I'll just advertise this also. So it's not online. Why it's saying not online? It's online. Okay. So save it. Go back here. And again, for the new subnet, it should ask the permission. Awaiting approval. What? New subnet. 17.0 also need to be onboarded. Now it is advertising two subnets. And it is available. It's not available to anybody right now. Why it is not available? The reason for that is the access control. I do not have a rule for allowing anybody right now. So this is right now my rule to permit any. Okay, I can further access, allow anybody. Now let's say there are servers called web server. I need to group them. So I can create a group. Web servers. And wherever, whatever members I want to choose, if I have created any members and all that, I can choose the members also. Right? I have not created any members, but I can create members and I can save it. Then I can permit these people based on the groups. Right now, only I am admin is the user. So there are, let's say, admin team or sales team or HR team, they need to access their servers. So what do? I can configure a group and put these people into a group. Or if it is IP, right, IP set, I can put them into an IP set. That these are the networks that I need to target, single, full network, etc. Also, I can name certain servers as individual servers as server 1, server 2, whatever. Right? Save host. And then further, I want to give permission to this guy here, right? I can choose a rule that only these people, certain group of certain members, maybe admins, maybe other thing, right? Can only access server 2 and save it. So I can choose which user exactly want to have what destinations, what ports. Like in ACL, you do that, right? So this is your graphical ACL. You can configure your ACL. If you are pretty good with JSON also, you can go and configure the JSON also. It allows you that. Okay. Now, you want to give SSH access to any of these resources. Okay. Where is the destination? Destination, I have to tag somebody that I want to have everybody permitted or some other permitted or network admin permitted to do SSH to this particular device, then we can do SSH from here itself. Now these services that you advertise, you see that here, right? There is nothing clear that what services can we access from here. Is it clear that what services can we access? So where are the services? The services are here, right? Discovered services. That these guys are running these services. Access control, if I check, all users in your network can access this. Why they can access it? Because my ACL rules are saying that. If I remove that first rule, delete it. If I remove this rule, delete it, I go to services again, I ask him to do this. What do you think? What will happen? This service is not accessible to any user in the network right now. Right? So this service, now the ACL does not permit, there is no permit rule. By default, the rule is permit all. So they are able to access it. Right? Because generally right now people are trying testing, they are not advanced users. So right now the rule is permit all. But these are the services. Maybe this particular server, Paris server, is running more services also. Maybe it's running web service also. In that case, what you will do? You can advertise that service. Define that service on what particular host. Maybe it's a web server. Okay. What port? Port 80. Okay. And which host? This is the host. Right. So you can choose that also. The next is users, right? So I'm the admin here. You can advise this call additional users or external users, etc. Whatever rights you want to give them, you can give them, and they will be there at your network. So very simple concept, like everywhere else you see that, right? If you want to give this link to other people and maybe other people join, you can also want to set that you want to manually approve the new users. Otherwise, they will be able to join on their own, right? So these ACL rules that you have seen, generally we have seen these in our network devices also. But then multiple devices, you need to buy what? Cisco ICE or Cisco Duo, right? For firewall, you require something else. For VPN, you require something else. For something else, you require something else. Here, that is not the concept, right? You see how many devices it is killing right now. It is even having, this is basically what it is. This is as good as, acha, this service is not applied to any host right now. This is as good as, it's called reverse proxy basically. You can call it as a reverse proxy kind of thing. The next is apps. This you might be familiar with. In SD-WAN you have seen this, right? You want to route your traffic to certain fixed app. The app could be anything. So I'm going to create a custom app. Custom app will be web services India. And what do you want to do? I want to, because it's custom, I'll say networkershome.com. Okay. I want to go to networkershome.com through certain resource. Okay. I have to create an ACL tag. So where is the tags? Here's the tag. Server. Okay. Where is that? Services. No, apps, right? I was at apps. Custom app. this server tag I am going to choose later. Networkershome.com it is, right? Yeah, this is fine. And it says it needs action to be permitted at some other place. So basically what happens with this is that in most of the places you might have seen, a lot of companies want to have a direct VPN, okay, from this particular controller itself to that particular location. Okay. So let me explain you this. Generally, in ordinary circumstances, what happens is that you have VPN between two devices, right? You have a VPN between two firewalls or something site to site I'm talking about. That is a traditional VPN, right? This is a traditional VPN. Here, what happens is we are giving you access. Everything is given access through controller. So the VPN that I am building is I'm building from there to this particular device called AWS and whatever site VPC it is. AWS, VPC, whatever country or whatever place we are talking about. Right? So in that case, this is not required. Why? Because this anyways, all these firewalls and users are connected through controller. They are in the control of this thing. So I am having VPN. Generally, the traditional VPN was having site to site, but here everything is controller based. So you can have custom app, you can have a VPC, right? You can have any of the VPC sites. You see that global, Africa, Asia, Northeast, US, Southeast, right? You can have, because these are the AWS region locations. You can choose any of that location. You want a specific VPC to that, right? Or a VPN to this particular thing. You can choose that. And what do? We created, remember that this is what we created. Because the server tag, I'm tagging it to talk to S3. So I've not chosen VPC, I've chosen the storage. I don't want storage. I want EC2. Okay. I want EC2 to be talking to that, or maybe I'll see if we have, what else do we have? We have EC2, we have S3. So it's basically, we are just talking to an EC2 instance rather than the VPC. Okay. And I can choose any location. I can tag this particular server, and then I will be able to talk to, my network will be able to talk to all the devices in my network, which I permit in the future to talk to this particular tag. They will be able to talk to those tags itself. What is that tag? The tag is servers, which are the users. If I allow certain subnets to be able to go to that particular site, they can go to that site. If I allow them to go to VPC, right, they will be able to allow to go that VPC. If I allow them to go to my Google Workspace, right, which is every company has these. There is no company which will hardly not have Google Workspace or Microsoft 365. Right? So I want to have a direct connect with them for all the data to be users to be able to use it securely, not through internet, because internet is not safe. So I will have a VPN connectivity to these guys. They will give their own APIs and everything else. That's a different thing. But we will have this thing. So apps, services, we have seen that, right? Discovered services, which happens by default, and advertised services, which you want to advertise. Acha, in this you see very interesting stuff. Just tell me what it is. I'm saying service PNet or EVNG, let's say. EVNG is for most of the people, it's easy to understand EVNG. I'm saying access is port number 8000. Okay. Tag is in the server tag, there is a server there, right? Or whatever, Vikas or EVNG or whatever it is. Define service. What does it say? Guys, what is it? What did I do? What exactly it is? You see that service EVNG has no service host setup. Tailscale serves command with the service this thing. That's okay. We have to set a host for sure. But what is this? This feature is called reverse proxy, right? So reverse proxy, how it works is, and it's used by every company in different forms, that I have my tailnet, whatever IP I will get, right? You will access it here, and the server is somewhere, maybe in Paris, maybe in US, some other location. But I do not want this particular IP to be visible to anybody. The user can only access this port, whatever I will advertise, and he will take it back to this particular place, right? Or let me give you from internet perspective, another good example of this. So let's say you have internet, you have a firewall. This is your firewall. And you have a server here. Okay. You do not want to expose this with public IP. The other option is you have a public IP, put the server here, right? Let's say I will have a server here itself, put a public IP. But what are the issues with it, with public IP? I'm exposing it directly to the world, right? The world will attack my web server. So what are the solutions for it? Generally, how companies do it? Companies will not put the server directly. Company will put it behind. If they can afford, they will put it reverse proxy. If they can afford a little bit more, they will put it behind. That's where our maximum students have gone in past 2 years. Tell me what? Barracuda, Checkpoint, right? Ruckus, Web Security Gateway. What are those? WAF. Or Cloud Security Gateway. Or Cloud Firewall. And generally we say reverse proxy is a feature inside it. And it will have, I'll give you one example of this. So let's say that we go behind. Safe line, right? Where is safe part? You'll see by default, huge number of features will be there in every reverse proxy or WAF and other things. And you'll see that what it is going to protect. Inside it, there will be 1000. Inside it will be different hundreds of tools will be there to check that and to protect us. Right? These are not network firewalls. These are web access firewalls. So that is another feature. So the services is your reverse proxy. What you will access? You will access this particular IP and this particular subnet, right? This is created by whom? Created by. Now you see that. Does it exist? Does it exist here? Is it actually there anywhere? Right? These services he has created one IP and subnet for this particular thing, like a public IP. How powerful is this feature? This tool, this guy was working for Google, and recently they have got a funding of 1,500 crore rupees. How complex features he has made easy is so wonderful. The product, the servers are behind VPN, and still he cares about reverse proxy so that he can still hide it even from his own users. This is very powerful. I can't imagine, how powerful it is. Right? So you are right now, I'm already inside the firewall. You see this machine right now? I'll say, what's my IP? I will be in. Where is it showing? This is not my, this is going through some hide my IP kind of thing is happening. It is showing in California. I'm in Denver. See, 250 millisecond latency is there. So when I'm clicking it, it takes its time. But if it was in Paris, you won't even feel. And probably the machine itself does not have proper resources or something like that. Okay, now what I'll do is I'm going to go to my local machine and I come here. So this is my Bangalore machine. I'm going to see all these things. Now you see there is another very interesting, powerful thing here. Guys, can you mute yourself? Somebody's mic is not mute or something. Okay, my screen is on the other side. Guys, can you mute yourself? There is a lot of... Who's that? Rakesh. Okay. What is it? Ah, this one. It is. Now I'm in Bangalore machine, right? You will see the speed is pretty good and all that. So apps, services, right? We have done users. User is pretty simple. You can assign any role that you want to assign to any user at any point of time. You can choose which devices are assigned to him, etc. And a lot of other features. And you can do that in JSON itself, or you want to do it in the here, right? You can choose who can do what. Did I remove any ACL or something? Can access. Okay, so that's fine. So access control, we have seen most of it, right? You can choose what you want to assign. Attributes, what I want to do, you want to disable certain services, you want to disable something else. Any kind of feature you want to disable, you can disable. This is app-based rather than there are two kind of access controls, right? One is your access control is based on IP address. That network engineers know. The second is based on the services, etc. inside it, So all that we can do, device posture, you can choose who enters in your network, if it is perfectly patched or not, what operating system you want to allow. I want to allow Windows. In Windows itself, what is the version that you want to allow, right? So I can choose there will be certain tag for it or something like that, right? So Node OS Windows version this, and I can apply this as a rule in my company, right? It's called MDM, Mobile Device Management, right? Anybody who's traveling anywhere in the world, whether it's with his cell phone or whether with his laptop or anything else, I want to make sure that he's perfectly patched and his operating system is coming under. It should not happen that he enters into our system using Kali Linux. That means his purpose of entering into the system itself is to hack us, right? Now this is pretty interesting. So logs. These days in the networking job, this is what is catching up because a lot of tools have become very easy. A lot of SOC jobs are there in India, right? And in last 2-3 days, we have configured 2 tools. You guys remember that? What were the tools that you configured, guys, interns? What tools did you configure? I think they're sleeping only. Okay, so these guys have configured Datadog and Splunk, right? So during the internship, they have configured. So you see that these are the top tools of the industry. And from your network, you want to send everything with the API. Is within seconds you can do that. You don't need to do anything. Just get API from there, give it here, and all your network logs, who entered, where, when, how, every single machine or machine that you choose to do, right? All that will be going to your Datadog or all that will be going to your Splunk. How amazing it is. Your complete network, your servers, your users, right? It is like, if you look at the power of it, you will realize it. This is your network completely, because today the networks are not physical in the premises. Users are roaming around, right? They're connecting using VPN. When user used to connect using traditional network-based topologies, right? We used to have firewalls, we used to have Cisco ICE, we used to have other things. When the user is mobile, user is working from home, user is working even in office using VPN to have the maximum security. So his network now has become these kind of tools. This is everything. And when I have my whole network here, right? Which is the best place to send the logs? This is the best place to send the logs, right? But from, what is it? It's a network. Remember that. You are not going to send server logs. Who will send server logs? The server himself will send. That you have to enter into server and do that. That's what you guys did that day. Does this VPN controller can enter into any of the servers inside it? No. So how can it send? It can send VPN traffic flow related logs. Any activity that is happening in the network. You will see this as a standard. With these kind of tools coming, you will see it standard that the other VPNs around the world will be obsolete. Within next 2 years, I'm guaranteeing you that all those IPsec-based VPNs, right? All those device-based VPNs, because the pricing here is like AWS cloud. It's damn cheap. And they are giving like 100 devices free, 5 users and 100 devices free. For small offices, that's wonderful. Okay, so logs. Now the DNS feature. So you have a DNS which you can change your DNS name. This is your network name. Okay, this is your network name. You can change it anytime, but it has to be tailscale.net. This is going to be your this thing. What is the benefit of this? And this is going to be a magic DNS, their own DNS server. I'll give you one example. Let me pick up this machine, Frankfurt machine, okay? I want to ping it from my Bangalore machine. First, ipconfig, what's my, see that? I'm sitting locally on this particular thing, okay. I can ping that guy. Okay, I want to ping this guy again. Where is Frankfurt? And it's in US. Remember that. So I want to go to this, pick up his host name. I have not tried this. I don't know this thing. Okay, the reason for this is because automation Frankfurt test.net. I have not configured one of my inside address for this particular DNS. I have to configure one of the addresses as for the magic DNS. Now what will happen is my primary will be internet. My secondary is going to be this. Once this is configured, all these devices will be able to talk to each other. Right? And even if I do this and it all comes through VPN, still it will take me through this also. So all my devices, if you see, they have a DNS name. Right? This is their DNS name. Let's go to this and see the DNS name. What is the purpose of this DNS name and how significant it is? What is the purpose of this DNS name and how significant it is? Tomorrow, let's say this Windows machine, whatever Windows machine I'm using, get crashed. Okay, whatever happens, ABC. But all my automation is connected to this machine IP, right? Generally, that's what we do. So what will happen? And maybe, what is the IP given to this machine? This is the IP given to this machine. 1096.72, this thing. Tomorrow, if I create a new machine, this machine get crashed, right? If this Linux server get crashed or this Windows machine get crashed, what will happen? Whatever automation I have done based on the IP of this particular machine, right? This particular IP, which I've just pinged, all that will be gone. But what if I have the name of this particular machine, this Denver machine, set to whatever I wanted to set? One, oh gosh. So now my machine name is this. And tomorrow anything happens to this, because my automation is set to one Vikas.this, ts.this. Like networkers home history, if you check, right? I have changed so many ISPs, so many, data centers, so many providers, that you will see that networkers home IP has been changed at least 100 times in the last 10 years. Okay, but networkers user will never come to know, because user does www.networkershome.com. User cares about this. He does not know that which IP change when. Right? User care about only this much. So similarly, that's a function of your DNS here, that you with the DNS, they have given you that facility that you, rather than configuring your all the machines and everything else, configure using DNS names so that tomorrow, if anything happens also, your automation does not break, or whatever configuration that, like this one, right? Our servers are now running on this one. On the learning portal, the yesterday what I shared, right? You go book your session of FTD or Cisco SD-WAN or CCI lab or anything else. It happens on this. From our servers, it will go to this automation server. From there, it will create RDP session. Let's say for Ramesh, 27th September or 27th November, 8 to 10 in the morning, right? Next day, 28th, 8 to 10 p.m. in the evening. All those sessions creating manually for 400 students, each student 20, 800 sessions manually is not possible. So this automation server goes to the RDP machines and creates those users with exact dates, exact time, exact password, exact all the details, and remove the, will not allow a user before his session and after his session. 800, 1000 sessions also it can book on its own. We do not have to worry. User has to just create a session and this automation server will create it at that location. Okay, so these are the kind of all the devices that you can connect at any point of time, and you can convert your routers anytime into a subnet device. Also, not only that, there is a very interesting thing called exit node. You want all your Bangalore traffic. I'll give you one example. Here is my tailnet. Right? You want to have all your traffic going through. Right now, there's no location, right? But if I have an exit node and I choose that as exit node, what will happen? All my traffic will pass through Paris firewall. Maybe in my house or company, I don't have a firewall. My company head office has a firewall. And company configures, everybody has to go through VPN and then they have to go through the firewall. So what do? All I have to do is go to the firewall, advertise itself as exit route, and that's all. Once it is there, he approves it. I will approve from here because I'm the admin. Who is the admin for all this? Right now, I am the admin. I am the admin access of this. Whomsoever can talk to anybody, I will decide in the company. I will create these rules and everything else, right? All these things used to be very complex with the traditional VPN. Site-to-site VPN, couple of seconds to get site-to-site VPN up. Between two Linux routers, make them router, right? Two Linux machines. Basic Ubuntu, configure routing in that, right? Namo OS that I was talking about, our router. Any Linux box you can make router in less than 2 minutes. 3 commands and a Linux box becomes OSPF ready, BGP, because these are all open standard protocols, right? Spanning tree and all these things are even local this thing, open source. So DNS is done. Any confusion on DNS, guys? All devices are also given HTTPS. This is very powerful. Okay, all devices that you are accessing will be HTTPS secure by default. That's what reverse proxy also does, right? All your devices will be this. Now, in the paid version, there is another very interesting thing. But before that, I want to show you routing because you guys are all network engineers. So you see the network 1090.28.117, 169.226, 196. Guys, how do you think these are working? I'm able to ping everybody, right? I don't know which machine was this. I forgot to. I think my own machine, right? No, this is not it. What is this machine, man? Ah, Denver. Okay. I'll change the name because I generally forget. So how is the routing working? You see that the subnets all different. 1090, 1096, 1069, 10124, 84, 105. If I go here, my machine, right? What is my VPN address? 100, 124. Is it there? 100, 120. Lenovo Office Vikasar, right? This one. If I go to this automation machine, I'll do RDP again. You see that? RDP itself I'm doing to that IP. You see that I'm not using public IP. I'm using private IP to talk to a machine sitting in other part of the world in Denver. I'm not using public IP. Is this a public IP? The public IP of this subnet is something else. Okay, so what is the IP of this machine? 10.1, not this one, 1069.226.34. Denver, what is the IP? 1069.263.226.34, right? That's the machine. I just RDP into US machine. I'm sitting right now at the US machine. I'm not sure if you guys can see that. You can't. Okay, so right now I'm sitting at the US machine. This is the machine. I just RDP into it. I am just checking it. The CMD, you see that 1069.226, 1069.226.34, 1069.226.34. I want to ping my office work machine. This is the IP. From there, if there is no firewall on my PC, it should be able to ping that. So it can ping Bangalore, and you see that that's a latency. Because US to here is absolutely fine. Up to 270, 300 also is absolutely fine. Okay, so what they have done is they have made it like a UPI transaction that, the Google and Android team has made it that two people want to make a payment, should not be complex, should be damn easy. Now, new features are coming where you can have your own identity provider, right? You can have device management approvals and all that. You want every device which is connected, admin should approve it, or without approval, they can do that. That's a very dangerous thing. This is more of a policy file management, how the policy file will be managed. So basically, do you want to do your policy at the GitHub or Terraform? Do you want to allow that to happen remotely? Okay. So what is that? Infrastructure as a code. Most of the AWS configuration, right? The big companies, when they want to have a 1000 server up, how do they do it in AWS? They just do one command on their CLI in Python, right? Or Terraform or Ansible or Salt or Puppet or Chef, right? These are the tools mostly used. They just press one button. 1000 is the value. The template is ready. Press the button and get it done. 1000 servers are ready, right? Webhook and all that you can create. If you want some information to be coming or to be sent to somebody, you choose that and you can send all your information. What is it? Anything that you want to create. If it is important for you to send it to somebody, maybe, some network server or something else, or maybe a server which is concerned about, this thing, you see that here, these are the things. So Mattermost is what we are also going to show you. This is a very popular tool. I don't have access to most of the other stuff right now. Or maybe you want to sell each time a user is created. You want a Google chat to be sent to me. I'm the admin and I have a sub-admin. If the sub-admin in my absence creates a user, creates a policy, creates anything, right? I also have created 2 days back, first time in my life, a webhook for our server to work. What's that? Hook.networkers.home.com. Okay. This is only receiving certain information from my server. Right? A user is created at our website, booking.networkershome.com. His 2-hour session is created. Where is that going to be sent? That will be sent to the Frankfurt server. Frankfurt server is this server which has a webhook installed. When he receives it, he creates an API or he creates a system where he will RDP into the relevant machine and will create a session for the user. So here also, you will choose that you want to send it to somebody, maybe custom, or to these tools. You can send it to that also. This is all basic stuff. Keys, you have seen that, right? I enrolled most of the Linux machines and other servers and whatever devices do not natively have that, right? You will have to generate the API keys, auth keys, right? And this is the traditional method these days for all the devices. Secure API, auth keys, you both authenticate using the public IPs, and that's all. Share the public keys with both the devices, and if everything is fine, you will be able to onboard that particular device. So this is the total Tailscale, guys. Not a single feature left. And it is not even a paid plan. I think paid plan has 3 more features they've just added. Okay, which is multi-tail. Multi-tail is you will have multiple tailnet for your different departments. Maybe sales want to have completely separate. You do not want any kind of mistake one day to happen, so that this is for sales team and they have access to some other resource. So you want to have multi-tailnet, department base. Say for sales, a different tailnet, but within the single admin. Right? Within the company, there are departments, and departments sometimes also can be huge. So there could be sub-admin or there could be main admin who will do sales related all the VPN teams, HR related all the VPN teams and all that. Although here also you can do that using tags and everything else, right? But that's a lot of work to remember also. And if one tag is not done properly, everything will be messed up. So that's your 100% features of Tailscale. What else, guys?